Alright, so back from a bit of a break from making videos, with an unboxing of a couple of the sections of this new wave of Fallout miniatures. Had a bit of a delivery problem, so the first part of it was delayed, and by the time it showed up it was only a week to the newer stuff. So I decided just to go ahead and combine it all into one. So first up we have the robots, the Protectron Workers. So just looking at the graphic here, we've got the construction, police, and fire Protectrons, and they each have custom heads, and the construction one even has a custom arm for his riveter, so that's pretty cool. I have some basic Protectrons already, so these will be a nice addition to kind of round out the robots themselves. Let's just take a look here. Some stuff falling off the sprues already, as we expect. Again, it looks like we've got a couple different types of resin in here. If we look at these two side by side, the right one is a lot more white to the left side's gray. So it looks like just some arms have come off at the connection point, so that's perfectly normal. We'll just have to align those, and we have one torso that's come off. Not a big deal, it doesn't appear to be any damage. The construction guy is pretty nifty, has got a lot of detail. You can paint in those lines, it's all sculpted on, so that's nice. The police one, is this the fire? This is the fire. Unfortunately, doesn't have the kind of logo piece in detail, so we'll have to do a bit of sketch work on there. And the same with the police one. While he has his dome helmet, he doesn't have the star brought out. That would have been nice to see. So we'll have to do some freehand work to put that on there. As far as the bases go, pretty normal bases. We've got like a steel plate one, probably for the construction, one with girder and some kind of broken asphalt, and then a normal kind of dirt base with several holotapes on. That's probably the police one, yeah, just looking at the numbers. And the fire is 186, so actually the steel plate is for the fire one. So all pretty cool. The other box from this part of the wave is the Congregation of for the Children of Atom. This is the Zealot Congregation, and per Modifius, this is more of a teaser than the actual faction as a whole. This is the only one they've released, so that's good. We've got a preacher, a disciple, and 4 child of Atom. I went ahead and picked up 2 of these myself just because they're more generic. That way I could have, at least a decent sized grouping of them. Mostly I'm putting these together for role-playing purposes, so it'll be nice to have a filled-in town kind of thing. I think that's a nuke mine on that particular base. Just some cabling, and then this one, just some general earth and looks like corrugated metal. So let's see, 197. So they do have optional weapons. This one can have a pipe pistol or radiation gun. This one, radiation gun or pipe pistol as well. This one only has a rifle so far. As with the other one, no, the base doesn't have anything, so. The preacher himself doesn't have a weapon exposed, but he is very sneakily, let's put this into focus real quick, has a radiation pistol hidden behind his back. Can't trust those religious zealots. More bases, looks like some radiation canisters. Actually, those canisters look more like the hallucinogen canisters. Vertibird or Plane Wing, and another of the nuclear vases. So it's probably a duplicate. Oh, a duplicate base maybe, but not a duplicate miniature at least. We got the Disciple in Prayer, and then this one looks like his only option is a pipe rifle. Still pretty cool. So the most recent wave is Swan. We're unboxing the best for last. And the robots. Now, according to the box here, these are distinct. So I'm going to be interested to see what exactly makes these distinct. Right now I have two Mr. Handys. So that'll be interesting to see which of these. I'll set Swan aside for right now. So let's see. Oh, it looks like we have a lot of bowler hats. So, alright, so we're going to break these up by numbers. I am glad that they include the sprues with the numbering. It makes it easy when you have different configurations to see what goes with what. So, 109, so we've got a pincer and a buzzsaw, and then the flamer on that one. This is 111. Two pincers and a buzzsaw. And then 109 we just did, and then 110 has two flamer type nozzles, which can also, pretend to be lasers or anything else. I'm going to guess Nurse, Gutsy, and Handy. And that's going to be the determining factor, is the type of armatures that we have. Yes, because all of these bodies, the body sprues are identical. Just looking at the back, see no difference there. They all come with a bowler hat, which is entertaining. And they're all numbered 108, so there is no difference in the bodies themselves. So, for instance, the star that's on the Gutsy isn't raised or etched into this. That's another thing that'll have to be freehanded. Or, since I have done a lot of dust miniatures, so Weird War II, I may have some appropriate transfers that I can use for these. I'll have to see if I have them sized. I do like the fact I have a lot of bowler hats, though. So that's cool. Now, the box that I'm sure everyone is much more interested in seeing, including myself, I must admit, is Swan. I think Swan will be jumping ahead in my painting schedule. I love large miniatures. It's just something I enjoy. So we've got one bag that's packed in actual bubble wrap, and then another pack here. And Swan is on a 60mm base. So here we have his back, it looks like. Or his arm. No, it's his hand. There we go. I can see the fingers now. And that's the chain for the boat anchor. There's the base. And if anyone's been to Boston Commons in Fallout 4, the base does reminisce of Boston Commons with the pathwork there. So, good to see. Oh, we've got some damage to my hook, it looks like. Yeah, so this is supposed to be a hook on the end of the boat here, and that's snapped off. Not a big deal. This happens with any model. So we'll just glue that together. That's not a call up and complain to the manufacturer kind of deal to me anyway. And then the anchor, wow, that is big. And so the anchor gets actually in the hands, and so this part attaches there. It's used as a club, mostly. Now, the actual body must be here in the sticky contained bubble wrap. So we've got his legs. A lot of detail on this. Oh, so much detail. A little shiny on the back, so I'm guessing we've got some mold release there, but all of this is getting washed, so not a big deal. That's a very unfortunate bit of sprue there. Let me just bring this up real quick. So this particular piece of sprue, as you can see, is very thick and attached on the bottom. So that's going to make cleaning it a little more difficult. Not impossible, just a little more. And then, okay, so body and head are all one piece. Very nice. And looks like, oof, his face is very modeled. I mean, like, not as a bad mold way, but just that's how he is. The netting, tires, even a tree branch on here. Tons of little, enough skulls on this miniature, it could be a Warhammer 40k mini. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much fun to paint. Because you're going to, so he's got like a pool, like a boating floater cable with those little floaties that are on the rope to mark off areas. So you would color those in. You've got all the wings of the boats that he's strapped on as armor. The tire in the back here. There's even an actual swan head just poking out of the boat that you can paint. This branch, all of the skulls. Yeah, this is going to be at least a 2-part painting instructional. Also, once I get these so I'm going to wash and assemble all of these, and one thing we'll be doing is comparing him to the size of the original Super Mutant Behemoth, just so we get an idea of how he appears. So I'll get these all washed and assembled, and we'll be back to take a look at them. Alright, we're back with everyone assembled. So just taking a look here. This is our police bot. The funny thing is there's a bunch of holotapes, which if you've done the Nick Valentine questline in Fallout 4, you know that there's a ton of holotapes you have to gather from police precincts. So that's pretty good. As I was worried, no star embossed, so that has to be painted on. Fire Guy's pretty much the same way. And he's on like a corrugated metal base. And then our riveting builder. His arm's interesting in that it's holding the gun, so it's a 2-part connected with the hand on the gun. And his base has got some construction material and dirt on it. The Children of Atom were pretty cool. I went with pistols, the gamma weapons whenever possible. So that does leave me with some extra pipe pistol arms. I also have some bowler hats left over from the Protectrons. So when I make my second box of these, I'm at least going to throw one bowler hat on someone, just to break up the models. So we've got a pipe rifle, gamma pistol, or this could have been a bolt pistol. Kneeling in prayer. I like this one's base. It's got a book, some radiation, so it fits with the pose very nicely. Another gamma pistol / pipe pistol with some conduit. And then a bolt action rifle, one of the non-pipe or gamma weapons. And then the main priest guy with a weapon behind his back. So those are pretty cool. Now, I've not attached the robots to the base yet, because I'm going to paint these up and then replace the shaft with a clear plastic flight stand. For my basic model, Mr. Handy here, I did attach the bowler hat to, because I have 2 other Mr. Handys, one that's supposed to be Codsworth and one that's just generic. And none of those have the hats, so I'll have one with. This is the Mr. Gutsy. You've got 2 flamethrowers, and I've put the buzzsaw forward Again, all of the tops were the same, so there's no real... the star will have to be put on by something other than etching. I would have liked to see it etched in. The regular Mr. Handy's base has the Mr. Handy fuel tank on it. Mr. Gutsy has some ammo crates and cells. And then for the Miss Nanny, we have the 2 grabber arms, but again, I put the buzzsaw first. And she has like a medic setup. So we got stim pack, drugs, first aid kit. So now what everyone's been waiting for is Swan, and he is a beefy boy. Now, as I said, I wanted to see side by side. So this is side by side. You can see they're the same height. Swan is a lot broader though, especially with all of his additional pieces put on. They're both on the same size base, which I believe is a 60. Yep, 60 millimeter base. I reattached the broken hook. I pinned it back in, so that won't be coming off. I didn't feel the need to pin any of the joints, because they all had good ball and socket kind of joints. Getting this top torso and the bottom to fit together was a bit of a pain. There's the tab from the molding comes off this back piece, so you have to really kind of shave it down as you go. And so I got it pretty well fit. There's some gaps, so I'll fill those in. A little filler putty. The front section's good. That'll get filled in. Any issues there with actual paint. But yeah, he is a phenomenally awesomely detailed model. You can see all of the boat wings. That's a picket fence he's using on his armor pieces there. And also on his right shoulder here, we have so many skulls. So many skulls. Look at that. Tons of skulls. Even have that bit of driftwood and a swan and a tire on his back. His boat hook / parrying. And of course the anchor. I can't believe that a boat pond would have something with an anchor this big. I can only assume it was decorative. But that'll be great to paint up with some dirty down rust, that and the chains and everything. There's a lot of detail work, so I'm looking forward to spending a fair amount of time on him, but he is definitely one of the beefier models. So there we go, the last 2 waves. I do have the magazines showing up, the Astounding Tales, as well as the Commonwealth Wave book are finally supposed to show up, hopefully today, we'll see. It took a while for the US to get their physical copies of that. They're probably shipped from somewhere else. So once I have those, I may do a bit of a review on them as well. But yeah, looking forward to getting these guys on the painting table. I'm still trying to finish up with the gunners and the railroad that I have yet to paint. So we'll work at getting all of those and then moving on to this group as well.